looking for his hat-trick, but unable to get the pass off and not connected.
I'm a firstborn of four, so basically I've been really playful growing up, yeah. That was in the Manyata estate in Kisumu city. And according to my mom, I used to be playful, even growing up, yeah. And then I moved to Homabay High School from Kosao Primary School. I was interested in basketball, so I tried basketball, but you know, I think there was this thing called Ubabi, Sawanai, so they really dominated basketball match. And then during the inter-schools, I found myself to be part of the dormitory. So when we were doing house competition, Ceres came up to really have a lot of rugby players. And so they recruited some of us, you know, based on our height and just being part of that. Sasa, when I was in Form 1, I found myself in a cube that were full of rugby players. And so I got into rugby from basketball and football. And then with the innings and outings, you know, you enjoy the same, and so you continue playing rugby. So that is how my rugby journey actually started. Yeah. Well, so you know, when I came to realize Homabay is a giant, I'd already gone. But during our time, we were the first team to actually make it to the quarterfinals. So you can tell how that used to be tough. The quarterfinals, the Nyanza provincial. So during our provincial games, we made it to the quarterfinals. We lost to St. Mary's School Yala. That was in Chemelin. With Homabay, we never won a tournament during my time. Squeezing us here on Endadi Nationals. But again, that wasn't really the focus for us during that time. We used to even to have certificates. I don't know if they're still there. Times zetu tuko napewa certificates of participation, I mean, is a sports. So I still have them. Though we cannot use them somewhere, but they made us have you know, what we call a foundation. I mean, inning outing to me was a great one because pia siko napenda kukaa shule sana. Yeah. Nimependa masomo hapa mbele. Basically, to me, rugby is so unique because as a firstborn growing up with a single parent, I managed to school myself a lot. And many of people actually wanashangaa nikisema, but I didn't, you know, come to do my bachelor's degree direct in that manner. I started my schooling with a certificate course. I do drama a lot. I used to act in high school and I still act. So through drama and rugby, that is how I managed to pay my fee until the time I finished my degree. And so that is why rugby is so unique and, you know, me being passionate about it. So that has been the journey from Nakuru, from Homabay High School to Kisumu Rugby, 4 seasons, and then to Nakuru Rugby, 3 seasons, and then now with KCB Rugby Football Club. Well, it used to bring a lot of issues. My mom will be like, sasa, I mean, tutafanya vitu za nyumba, tununue food, ama tukue tukipeleka hospitali. But I thank God also I had an auntie Apeles used to be, she's a doctor, a nurse, and so anytime I'll get my injuries, hata sikuwa narudi home, I'll just go to my auntie's place. I remember this time we were playing Mombasa Rugby Football Club. Nilikuwa nimegongo kichwa, nilikuwa nimeraruka, so I went to Aga Khan, nikashonwa, and then I was like, sasa niende home hivi, and I decided to go to my auntie's place. You know, we've had surgeries, and I don't know, sijui hata sahi siwezi zicount. But anytime I'll get my injuries, I'll just go to my auntie's place or my friend's place. And then utaenda home next time kama message ilishafika, so you get to tulia kiasi. But you know, mothers are always worried about their kids. But on the other hand, I agree with the mother who was a sports lady and a sportswoman growing up. She used to do discus. In fact, my mom did rugby at some point while in high school. So it wasn't really strange to him being a family of sportsmen and women. You know, our uncles playing football. My brother was playing basketball. My sister plays football, Sai Moi University and Eldoret Falcons. So sports in our family really is not that strange. But anytime we'll have, you know, injuries left, right, and center ilikuwa inaleta those issues. Kisumu, I found Dala Sevens going on. Dala Sevens is a rugby tournament of the 7 series that happens across the country. So ningeipata hapa na hapa, and then now I decided, okay, every time I come for holiday nitakuwa na train nase, and that was now the beginning of everything. I must say there were those thoughts during my days in Homabay school. I knew Kisumu Rugby and I knew KCB much, because during our time, or 6 or 7 or 8 hapo, those times nilikuwa nawasikia sana. I think they were winning Kenya Cup during that time. So I would see them in the papers, and then we had this routine ya ukipata mse wa rugby, whether unamjua mumjui, wote kata tu paper, you stick, yeah. So I used to look forward to that until I joined Kisumu Rugby, when it came now much into me, or getting to know the likes of Andrew Amonde. I had mentors like Kopondo, Akina Mwanja, Lawrence Kuyachi, and Akina Kayange. These are people I used to admire. It came to be better for me because I played with some of them at some point. But through me admiring them and just the way, they will carry the Kenyan flag and stuff, it made me now to build more passion towards going in that direction. And at some point, I really desired that, many of us would actually make it to the national team from Kisumu RFC, which I thought some point, angaliwanika tuko chini nini. But growing up after, making it to the clubs, up country, I must say it's a tussle. Making it to the trainings, when I was in Nakuru Rugby, we used to come for national trainings, team trainings in Nairobi. So you can imagine someone who's coming from Kisumu. Davis Chenge used to make it from Western Kenya, but it's tough. It's tough because you have to make those trips. How you make them, no one cares. But where I feel that we lose a lot of players in your place here, the transition now between umefunga chuo, you've done your 4th form, you are home for 1 or 2 years or so, and then when now you hit uni, because by the time you go to the university now, you're either out of the town or you are just far. Yeah, because not many of us now would go back to or get to go to Maseno University, or I did Great Lakes University of Kisumu during my certificate course, community work and development. So for me it was a bit easy, and I must say it really helped me build a foundation in terms of rugby. Yeah. The other thing, I decided now to connect to these senior players. I'll just take time, inbox them, FB ilikuwa new time. And rugby players are just so special. Yeah, even sipojibu, when you meet for tournaments, you ask questions, they jibu you. And so they're able to give you direction. In the tournament we are playing for the first time, I think that was our first time in Kisumu RFC. I just finished my certificate course. And so they're interested in around 5 or so of us, myself, there was Akina Baji, there was Akina Georgia Dongo, Evan Sigide, and some players that they just thought, what, we can have you guys come over. And again, Kisumu had built a relationship with Nakuru RFC because of the Bamburi Super Series. So during Bamburi Super Series, this was a franchise kind of a tournament. So Kisumu, Western, and Nakuru would mix to form up a team. Okay? And so through that, they will only pick the best in your team. So we found that foundation was already set up with the likes of Diko Sano, Akina Maobe, Akina Newman Opio, the late Jadasi Dindi. They already formed that foundation. So we came in, by the time Bamburi was eating, it announced us. And then from then I moved to Nakuru RFC. Now moving to my Nakuru RFC, because I'd just done a certificate course, I decided let me further my education as I stay around this place. And then that game we won. I think we won against Nakuru. I think I had a try. I made a try that day, and it was just an awesome game. So I moved to Nakuru RFC, and then I joined Mount Kenya University, Nakuru campus. So I was volunteering with Red Cross and then training, because Red Cross is just opposite NAC, Nakuru Athletics Club. And then again, the next block was MKU. Right now they have moved. So I did my season there. Nakuru to me was best because I just moved to another different arena of my game. The fan base in Nakuru is rough, is just on another key. You get, it's like they own you. So the pressure is good because it helps you train. And then, I mean, we enjoyed the sponsorship from Menengai, our company, you know, just apart from just sponsoring us as a team, they were also helping us to do, how do you call these jobs? Also, wanaendaga tu kupanga mabox as in casual. Yeah, so I used to do some casuals there. Most of our players were given jobs if you are qualified in that place. And so it was just more than just, you know, supporting the team. And Menengai has stood with them and stood in Nakuru and for the longest time until Oilers was birthed. It's still Menengai. Well, I was really on my best form, playing Kenya Cup. I had not won. You know, I went to Nakuru and I was telling the late Michael Kombe, my friend, alinikaribisha by the akaniambia, welcome to the championship. So I had medals before. In Kisumu, we had medals that we had won, but I used to see these trophies that they give players. So nikamwambia, by then, this is now the second phase of my life when it comes to rugby. That season, I think I used to score almost every game until one guy by the name Jakadadi nicknamed me. Alikuwa ananiita Ozil. And I didn't know much about this Ozil guy because I'm not into football much. Now I started researching nikagundua umse alikuwa na score a lot. I think I was a top try scorer with around 16. Yeah, with 15 tries. And one of the games that we went to play, Eldoret RFC, I think I scored almost 4 tries. You know, but the good thing that came with it was the game plan that we had. You know, the transition that we had from Coach Eric Situma and then to Coach Abibana. The game plan that we have, given the position I play, of course, you know, you don't score that much when you are a back row player and stuff. But the game plan that we had used to open us up, or we used to find ourselves in the wings, you know, and that gave us, myself and Philip Kwame, a lot of opportunity now to score. I actually realized I was a top try scorer when we were playing the finals. But even before the finals, we had gone to South Africa for the Vodacom Cup. And the training that we actually got from the Vodacom Cup was just intense. This was 2 months of training, every day, rest on weekend, playing every Saturday with top teams, you know, that have played Currie Cup and stuff. And so coming back, the perception, the experience, how you view the game became different for many of us. And actually that what led to it. It was a good one because we were winning Kenya Cup, I was winning Kenya Cup, top try scorer is here. Yeah. Well, most of the challenges that we encounter in rugby are just what we call injuries. These are things that some people don't see, you know, these are the scars and the pains that we have. That season I just recovered from a knee injury. I had a surgery on my finger, condition wa macho. The finals was a tough one. I think if you look at the photo of the celebration, I'm not really smiling because nilikuwa nimeshonwa mdomo. I think second half or so. Yeah, so those are most of the challenges that come with it. And then settling in Nakuru also was a bit challenging. It wasn't that smooth. The good thing with the club is that they have these houses that they used to help, you know, the new players to transition in. And so I decided to stay with the likes of Mesha and stuff. But luckily for me, I met my bro, you know, my bro, my step bro. He was staying in Nakuru. Yeah, so Bishop me host, and from then now I was okay because it's like now so I go home, I'm just living my life. So it went ahead with the seasons that were just yet. I was actually supposed to be headed to Impala RFC, and I've loved KCB since I was in high school. You know, I have this album I stick. If you remember in high school, we used to do this thing to Naitanga. How do you call this book? Auto book. Yeah, so I love art a lot, so I continue with the same trend. Even now, I'll print pictures and as a stick. So there's a card I used to have at KCB, and just having them from the magazines, akina Mwanje nilikuwa nimwa stick. I used to admire them because I knew them with the Kenya Cup winning championship back then. But my motive to move to KCB were propelled by two things. Apart from the sports itself, now I'm a student of community health and development. And so when I was finishing my diploma, remember I was paying my fee in Mount Kenya University Nakuru campus. I decided to, during our major tournaments, the sevens, I would meet MKU, main campus guys, Akina Zombi, Akina Chebarba. And so I would just interact with them part time. And then I developed this urge and desire to come visit them, train with them, Nini. And then during the East Africa Games, they decided to call me because I'm an MKU student in Nakuru. I've been called up to the national team. Now we are going to Madagascar. From South Africa, I went to Madagascar for some tournament and stuff. And so that announced me in the main campus. So I participated in MKU sports. Or they will come pick me tukienda East Africa Games in maybe UG, wananichukua tukienda. Life revolves around three things. I'm into sports, I'm into ministry as a youth leader in my local church, and I'm into mentorship, yeah? So I try package all these three in every phase of life that I am in. And what really I've managed to put in KCB is that you just need to play your part. That's what I'm telling you. I say, when you've been lucky, yeah? But it's not really luck because you see, everyone is given their own time. Everyone is given their own assignment. We are all unique and we are all different in our own way. I mean, you know rugby match. Your skills, your height, your weight is specific to a certain place. And so when you play your position in relationship with the team, it becomes something that is great. And one of the things that have helped me, I think, is just being able to realize that teamwork is teamwork. You don't really take the glory of a team as your own. For those of us who know rugby very well, most of the time you never see a prop being awarded man of the match and stuff like that. But if you look at what they do on the field, is something that not everyone can do. You know, you can take a back row and chase a center or something like that. But when it comes to front rows, these are specialities. But rugby is unique in that way. I got an opportunity to actually talk with the dean, who connected me to the chairman board of directors. Yes. Now, when the bus was being launched, there was a day a bus was being launched, our first rugby bus. I decided to travel and come and see him because I couldn't really get hold of him much on phone. I would call and Niko Chad, I would Niko E place. The mom said, let me go just meet him, personally, because at least we've already broken that rapport. So time nearly come, tulikuwa landless who were playing, I don't know which team MKU was playing, but they were winning well. Nikapata ref ako amefika on time, so nika jump in to assist the ref, and then I was alright. So he was there present, and so I decided to talk to him. I think they had already told him something about this student, who is an ambassador of the university and stuff. But I knew my focus. So when we talked, I decided to tell him that I've been coming to, train with the boys and see how we can assist them. And I was requesting if you can support me to be here because I'm finishing my diploma, so if you can support me with my degree. I wanted to say nipe scholarship, but kuna venye ikuji you get. So unajitetea zile za, assist me come so that I can also give back. Yes. And I mean, we had a good conversation. So that day ended well because we won, the pass was there, and I managed to get a sports scholarship for my bachelor's course. And one of the things I didn't mention to him is that, during my diploma course, I had a very huge balance. I'd finished my coursework and stuff, but sikuwa nimemaliza. But I knew if the scholarship goes through, it will settle also my diploma issue. And luckily it did. And right now, we've managed to maliza the degree. We had a good time that time. And when I came, I decided now, this year I won't be playing for any club. So when I reported here 2016 May, starting my class I think September, we played Kusa games during that season. So I had to play for the university because our university as MKU were playing also the local league. So really you can't register. Alex Aturo, Zombie was part of that team. Chebarba was part of that team. We had Nathan, we had Morgan, we had the Beast. It's a name that was really common in this university until ikapotea. And we had Mrefu sasa atasijua alikuwa anaitwaje. Yeah, but I have that picture. So that season we really performed well. Out of the 5 Kusa games, we managed to secure, I think, 3 finals, 1 win, 4 finals or so. We lost our last match in Nakuru when against, I think, UN or KU. But we won our leg back in Laikipia or not Laikipia, Taita Taveta. So winning our first Kusa for the first time as a university, we had dinner being organized for us. Chairman was really happy. And from there now we focus on how do we transition from getting our players from MKU to join clubs. Because again, we had an issue at work with MKU forever, which can't be so. It is something that we keep telling students, and sometimes, it sounds a bit uncomfortable, but the truth of the matter is that you need to move. But until maybe people get that understanding, and that is where now my off-pitch passion comes in. And from that, we had Morgan going to KCB. Right now he's working with KCB. Alex Aturo went to Mwamba. These guys are winning 7 champions here and there. We had also a Tiang, who also went to Western. And I think the whole squad is out. That whole squad is out, which really took us a good ride. And then I went to KCB. Yeah, we keep winning championships here and there. Yes. Into mentorship. And mentorship engages a lot of talks. You get. I'm not a motivational speaker. I keep saying it intentionally. Because when it comes to mentorship, it has to do with how do I package my sports with my career? When we go to the community to talk about, let's say, peer counseling and stuff like that, how do I use my sports as an example? That is what I've done with my mentorship. I use sports as examples because I've gone through it. I'm now able to package it. So it gives a clear, picture. When you're talking to someone about pain, you know what, I've gone through surgery. So through this pain, what did I get? What did I learn? If you've gone through something, you're able to say, Mazeni may go through his stuff, and so I'm able to guide you on it. Kuna shimo hapa na pale usiingie, nimeenda njia. And so for me to also be well advanced or be to read. So for me, no day goes by kama sijachoka, kama sijaandika kitu. Even when you came to get me from the office, I had to finish what I was writing, because that is to me is preparation. So that next time nikiitwa, like now I'm preparing to go to Daystar, I'm going to talk about those who are under scholarship. So I'm able to tell them that I have results of the same. Don't make the mistakes that we have made. When you get a sports scholarship, you need to really balance, because the university is interested with your academics first, and then your sports. Ya lazima perform in both. We are giving you a scholarship because you are bright. You get? So through that, you need to play for us. So you are the same person who needs to balance on how do I balance between going to the field, the TZ, nicheze games, and you also do your exams, because no one now will do that for you. I agree with a religious setup, so that is how I found myself in church. But now that I've grown, I understand what that means. Now, rugby sports gives me an avenue of, when I talk to, there's a time we were in Strathmore with the Magic Leaders Foundation, and I was asked to talk about sports value. The rugby is one of the teams and sports that has sports values that talk about discipline, sportsmanship, respect, you get. And so through those talks, you're able now to relate to sports. Rugby has given me, a channel to talk about endurance. You're able to talk about pains and losses. How do you handle pain? How do you handle a loss? How do you handle a win so that it doesn't feel like sasa, when you say Mungu? How do you handle a win? Not to make it feel like when you kusema, but it was part of the team. Just because Owilla scored doesn't mean that now Owilla is the man. Bila Owilla, KCB has been winning Kenya Cup. Without Owilla, Nakuru has been winning Kenya Cup. So you always need to have that idea with you, that before you, in fact, we can manage things and survive and move on without you. When we are able to get that, inakupea sasa, an avenue of understanding things. So that is what, my spiritual life, my mentorship life and sports has made me to understand. You get? Because without my spiritual life, I wouldn't understand things like humility, things like character. Because it is from the church now I'm able to understand that apart from gifts, apart from talents, unahitaji character. And apart from character, unahitaji humility. Unaget? Sijui mulienda tour France. Kuna watu wameenda hapo mbele yako. So it gives you that humility that where you want to go to, there's someone who has been there. Place uko, kuna wase wengi pia wako. And then wase wako chini wako, you are supposed to. So it gives you this. Those who are ahead of me, I respect them. I get lessons from them. They're like my mentors, they're like my coaches, they're like fathers who have gone ahead of you. And then place Nico, those of us who are in the same level, we build each other by rubbing minds. How do we help each other grow? How do we support each other in challenges? Sports people go through a lot of challenges. Na huwezi jua juu utaona tu mzee anakuanga body, mzee ameenda gym, but no one knows what you're going through pale peke yako pale kwa kona, you get. And so that is why you need to have also people that you are with you. And then those who are below you, you need kuwashikilia mkono, you assist them, unawasaidia, unawaambia guys, mazee uko talented and I can tell place unaenda, but hii na hii itaku affect, hii na hii itakumess, or hii na hii itafanya ugain more. Yeah, but there are many of us, because we are not the same. Again, there are some who sports they are professional, and you can tell the results will show. Unawase do how they are good in it in such a way that they can just do with it all through. So you just need to understand yourself, because when you know yourself, you know you are not. Personally understood, siko into sports as a pro.